Dang it, Grandpa. I can't take it seriously. Last time we finished up investigating the crime scene of Sayaka. Now we're going to try and figure out who killed her. Seems alright. Oh, we're not it. You're late, Mr. Makoto. We've all been waiting for you. I thought you were afraid of being discovered as a mentally lost. Wait, time out. Just sleeping the whole time.
Listen to me!
Let's not jump into conclusions just yet. Save that for the class trial. We did all the details of Makoto's crime. Well, the occupants I did, but I didn't do it. Me and Sayaka both know that all too well. Well, now it's all me, well, since she died. And I wasn't even involved at this time. Then who is the killer? Something carry on. One word Sayaka was one giving me mean look. However, all of them giving me, only two of them giving me mean. It's gonna be a problem. Is he really one of us? If that guy is very right. Time to take it, one of them checking that shit when I was put off.
Is everyone here? Okay then, please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom.
What are you talking about? Where you are in the elevator?
Where all your fate will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
How does this trial work exactly? I don't know why we're here. Might as well talk to everybody fine. And if all goes to heck, then I'll talk to our way out of it.
You know what I mean.
I did my job. I'm trying to rescue you from here on out. My job. Something's not right with that phrasing. What? Well, that's an odd thing to say. There, there's still a spaceman. They come and talk and stay. Oh, yeah, got that listen to this now. Your spinal kissing I don't know. Am I? Thanks, all assistants, even though you obviously killed her. Very impressive. I told you it did not kill her. Well, did you find anything that might actually prove your innocence? Oh, I found a lot of evidence. So I might prove something. Yes. Well then. No way, I was gonna talk to everybody.
Hey.
Are you scared? Oh, yes.
Makoto.
I've said it before, it's not that you're initially surrender yourself. If you don't, you never come to the limits of the truth. But I didn't talk to everybody yet. I'll swear to find those real terrorists, though. Raise my voice to find me much of courage. I turned something that makes it reach before daily. I reached up forward, I feel my heart starting to beat faster and faster. And my bullets starting to get more sore and sore. Nope, time to start the trial. And as they say, so long to get to our destination. I have a feeling that I wonder if it's how a death row inmate feels when this time finally comes. I feel it more like saying how a death row inmate feels, more like bored to death. This should have been the punishment instead. Rather than that, it's not more like a defendant waiting to receive his judgment. Police are sure anxiety. Earlier, Louis was forever referred to the bowels of school. Oh, already there. Finally arrived! What do you think? Doesn't it feel just like a real courtroom? Maybe. That or some kind of something from medieval Inquisition. It's like a the movie set, right?
Dude, shit.
Not even close. It's so dumb.
Well now.
Okay. Everyone find your sign please and stick. Hurry up now, hurry up. Don't rush. One giant struggle in it. I can see me right there in front of me, but where's that empty seat that can do anything? I seem to go ahead with he sat there. And he stood there. Any one of us could be the killer. And so, carrying our first case open. A deadly judgment. A deadly deception. A deadly betrayal. Right around the corner. A deadly riddle. A deadly defense. A deadly fate. A deadly blah 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 blah. Trial. It's about to begin. Yes. I've been scared badly. Let's see. 18 bullets for 18 mysteries. Alright, I have it. 3. Actually, that was it. Melodious voice and robot jaw. Wait, seriously, there's something else. That kind of handy. Preparations complete. Let us begin. Class trial, all rise!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
So it is one of us after all.
Of course!
Okay then, everyone close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
How would that work?
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
That's it. Yeah, plus we're
Before we
reading the
move
same
on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
What's going on with those pictures?
I feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
Friendship
penetrates?
Okay.
I like that.
But what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
That's a good question.
Oh, no
There's only
reason.
15 of us.
It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people.
Was there
Okay,
someone missing?
that about does it for the preamble.
I think it
Get ready to get
I don't think it's me. I saw some
started. First up
avatars.
is
Only
the
one of
case
them looks
summary.
like a missing
Now, let the class trial begin.
We'll talk about this another time. It's about to begin the debate. It's a debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak about everything. I mean everything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the line. The first step debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear some more? Yes. As things progress during each class trial, you'll engage in a number of non-stop debates. During those discussions, characters speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within the statements. What the main thing is you just use the truth bullets to refute what they say. Any relevant truth bullets you found during your investigations will be loaded to the truth cylinder. Okay. I think we get it. Pay close attention to each character's statements and use the truth bullets to blast the right ones. Don't even run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. The first option to find things are an inconvenient controls. Okay. I'll go on and have fun. Alright, begin the class trial. Make your argument. That's a struggle. We'll play your way then.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
Yeah, you know that part already.
Okay,
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom.
right?
So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to
That's not right. No, that's wrong. Try and carry me again, I dare you.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked.
Think about it extra carefully.
With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
There was a struggle, right? The kid got hurt.
Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
What else would they do there?
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
Heck no, you didn't
She must
see it
have
on
been
the
attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide.
Now that makes sense.
The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Okay, now I can take your voice seriously by idea.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
Indeed it is. We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. Actually, now that I think about it, we did see murder weapon already. Non-stop argument again. I think it's way too easy for me, you know?
So what was used to kill her?
I don't know what.
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
Yeah,
So the killer used some random...
That's not true! No, it's wrong! I counter your statements! This is a... not missing a knife back in the kitchen.
I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
That's a kitchen knife.
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach.
Yeah, it's very obvious from the start.
And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
It's definitely a kitchen knife. You can tell by the three dots.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us?
Where does it get us?
I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
Hey, that's not true.
Right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
No, I got one.
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
That's the third point.
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
That conclusion?
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
She's right. There's gotta be a bridge somewhere just waiting for us to find it. Because I know darn well I'm not the killer. There's more to learn about non-stop debates. You want to hear more? Absolutely. You can concentrate by holding down the R1 button. By concentrating, time will slow down for 5 seconds, so you can pay closer attention to what everyone's saying. On top of that, it'll stay your aim, making it easier to target potential weak spots. Concentrating like this consumes the focus gauge, however. Wait. Gotta change the system. I think it's a little too loud, don't you think? Well, the focus is remember to recover over time, so I'll let your brain take a rest. No need to rush. Oh, then get lucky and have fun. Yeah, like I was gonna have fun. Got it.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
It depends.
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret, when nobody was in the...
That's not true either! No, it's wrong! I know studying is a mess when study does not reward it right. I still got all the evidence right here.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Oh, wait, defend me.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying something else.
What if I have a witness?
I have a witness around the corner too.
What do you think, Tina?
I know. What do you think?
Huh?
Yes.
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Didn't you have a comment about this? Well, I went to get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back to the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. Oh dear. So you're saying that your knives disappeared while you were drinking your tea in Dino? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Was that right or am I left?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there,
did you ever
see me come into the dining hall?
Am I right?
No, I don't think so.
Because I wasn't there.
No, he definitely wasn't there.
So that confirms it. I
The
wasn't
knife
there
disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. But I wasn't there the entire time.
I wasn't there at all, not once.
In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this?
What about what?
What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
That's ridiculous.
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
That is a good question. Why would you get involved in that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
That doesn't make sense, but maybe.
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So only the one that gets to kill
So in
anyone else
other
gets involved.
words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Oh, okay, so only just one person at a time.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Nope, so rules
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
So nobody else was
Anyway,
involved, huh?
I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife.
So who did it then?
So I'm not the killer.
I can't be the killer. I was waiting to
Okay,
make it
so
the whole
then,
time.
who did take the knife?
That's a good
Hina
question.
seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
Who else could have been there?
Well, no way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
That's
Oh, really?
right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
Uh-huh.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's... Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Very unlikely.
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
Say your point.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over.
Alright.
Which
Okay, they
means
both had a story
we
at this
have
point.
airtight alibis.
You
So they're both
stayed
convincing.
over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
Oh, so it's past
We're
midnight.
not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room.
Okay, so that's kind of a flaw in the
So-
rule.
I don't think that's a problem.
Unless somebody changes
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
But both girls said.
I'm a girl.
You didn't even tell about this secret stuff.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't
couldn't tell
either
by
of
the
you,
suit.
then what other possibility is there?
That's a good question.
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's
possibility?
true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Who was it, though?
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Was it anyone besides me, though? Since I doubt was there. I
Well,
wasn't
because they're not here anymore.
not here anymore? There's only two people dead.
Sayaka She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka! So the other person who took the knife from the kitchen was Sayaka.
I got it!
I got it now!
Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
It could have been Ron Kuma since he's the principal.
That's the only possibility.
So
and
Sayaka
thinking
was
back on it,
the whole time.
she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
The person who took the knife was the victim herself.
As self-defense?
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
That seems very likely.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it?
Or did she commit seppuku?
In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
I was in the other room.
What? See? He did do it after all.
No, you're wrong.
There's one way to prove it.
That's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction?
Here we are in the wrong direction. We're in the other room.
You possess a most terrifying talent.
I got a different talent from it. Darn. If I don't do something, you're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't you understand? I was just inside the room the whole time. And then someone else that actually killed her was in the room the whole time, too. The question is, who did it?
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say?
Finally, some defense for case.
Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering.
Bewildering?
And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
I can't have been the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there.
The hair. That's the only
you
other
know
thing
what
I
I'm
cannot
talking about, don't you?
Blends all perfectly, and I know exactly what it could be. Yes. How does it work exactly? As seen events serving in class travel, Heyman's Gambit will eventually take place. The point of this is a really important phrase related to the incident in question. To deduce a phrase from letters flying around in letters already known. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Use the left stick to aim the... Okay, now I have to do somebody to move forward. If you shoot down the wrong letters, you suffer damage to your influence gauge. And then it's game over from there. Well, somebody should have been in the same, but wasn't. Something that blends into perfectly. A hair? See, that makes sense. One at a time. Or was it? Got it!
Now I understand!
Now I get it! It was hair! Not
That's
hair,
right!
Hair!
There wasn't a single hair on the floor!
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes.
They're so clever
and if I were the
discovered
culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room?
Exactly.
It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
But still wasn't me.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there.
Exactly.
That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
How do you know about
that? The killer
that?
got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
They're not the same.
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
That was more to it than that.
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
Yeah.
Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
And the doorknob was there too.
Then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
No,
and how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
Of course they had trouble with it. There was a door.
What do you mean?
A door has a flaw of its own.
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Actually, yeah, there was a loose doorknob. The killer struggled to get into the bathroom, and the evidence proves it is after the killer broke. Come on. There we go.
I got it!
I got it, my first try!
Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom.
Are you talking about the doorknob?
You're talking about the doorknob, right?
You know, it was slightly loose.
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Yeah, looks like it's about to fall off eventually.
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob.
I mean, you can't just
this is another most bewildering act for the room's owner.
That's right.
It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
Yeah, how...
So what?
Well, actually,
you're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room?
That is a kind of contradiction, isn't it?
But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
That's bewildering in there. You're posing.
You still don't see?
The crazy man.
Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Gotta say it was a bewildering act. Because I almost didn't notice it at first, but is that the key point here? He's going to learn about non-separates. Absolutely. From here on out, the number of respots will start going up. Now, how many respots? There's essentially only one line conduction in that debate. What I'm trying to say is, not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. Because the bullet on round one, and not only will you fail to repeat what was said, but you'll also lower your trust of everyone, and your influence against will take more damage. Now, this is important because if you feel in this case related to 0, game over for you. You have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spot actually lies or contradictions. Nope, that's right. Alright, where's my truthful one then?
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
I forgot which one was it again. Okay. Let me check what
Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then a killer ran after her, and they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
That's not true! No, it's wrong! That's not right! The door had a fly on it! Everybody knows that, but... Actually, me and you don't know that.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked.
Yeah,
After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with walking bathrooms, right?
Right.
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh?
What are you talking about? Yes. My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Monokuma, explain why
true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door, that's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck.
Yep.
But the killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to...
The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked. So we didn't know if the door actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the killer focuses in my room.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
It was actually my room, not her room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's Inconceivable!
And yet,
Invincible.
he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific,
mine was actually just stuck in
what
place.
the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms. Which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then...
And there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
Yeah, right.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But... the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
pointless.
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
Yes, only the killer would not have known.
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Yes, they switched rooms.
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Oh, now you're starting to figure it out. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Then we die.
Why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Too soon, we got too much evidence.
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Majority rules, is that it?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Seriously.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
It does matter.
Oh!
Everything matters.
As a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Even she agrees.
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
What's the question?
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Well...
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
Can't be. The room was right underground.
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Too coincidental.
Then, maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine.
This is a bathroom.
How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Oh, why exactly can't that be it?
Let's see, because she asked me to do something in particular, because I was trying to do this. Which rooms?
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
If you look at it carefully, the same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open the door for anyone, especially the killer. Even if sure it's you, obviously won't happen, and otherwise, what's the point of even switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
Did she just open it for that one person?
What if her being scared was a lie?
Maybe it was a lie.
Huh?
What do you mean?
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
Why's she lying around my face?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
Maybe. Maybe not. Wait. There's something I want to talk to you just as cheap. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Okay? Anyway, make sure you go and get the wrong room, okay? Okay. Yeah, somehow we got the right room.
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil.
Hey, how'd you do that?
And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows.
Where's the word?
When you write, it can leave an imprint. sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words.
Oh yeah, how's that work again?
When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes.
How do you know about the classics?
Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
I saw that too, actually. Wait,
which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't.
Why would I don't see
Of course you didn't. Because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
I don't know, I thought it was writing cursive. Wait, she actually wrote it?
But why?
Why would she write that for
Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone.
We'll tell her?
She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
Well, if nobody else knew, it's like she switched the nameplate.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Then
but can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened. Huh? What makes you say that? Would you like to hear what I have to say?
Say your testimony then. We got
very well then.
Too much time left.
Pay attention.
Pay attention. I shall pay attention then. However, if there's any flaws with it, I'll say it out loud.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Wait. Like I said, I'm watching for any flaws in your statement.
The place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room. I see. So if someone read that, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Not my room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto left.
No, it's wrong. It wasn't my room. It was...
Actually, the nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
Saw this morning. It was actually switched.
They got switched?
Obviously.
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves.
Actually, yes, they did.
As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name.
Yes. It was originally on
and the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Yes.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Yep. I was asleep.
Right.
I only just found out this morning.
Then who did it?
What else were you doing? You getting nervous early on? Oh, you're hiding something. One person who knew how to switch it was Sayaka.
I got it!
Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
Somebody wanted to talk to you about... Okay, now we're reading this one.
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person. That's where the answer lies.
Oh, I did notice something on
then was probably... We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
Who is the culprit, though? That's the problem.
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lied.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight.
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
It's not actually a real sword.
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself.
You're thinking the same thing, actually.
It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
Yeah.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
I have some evidence I'd like to disprove you with.
I got it!
That's
all you have
right.
to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery there. See?
It's all gold and glitter.
Is that gold?
It sure is.
Gold ivory.
Specifically, the gold coating from the replicas. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
Yes.
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
Too soon. We got more evidence. Why to my room? Well, let's just like a sip. That's what we need to make clear. Yes. No, I'm not actually. Oh, so I learned those will true bullets until you true so. Aw, man. Just like every weak spots, only one of those spots can actually refute the proper statement. In other words, from here on out, you'll have to combine your right true bullets with the right weak spots to refute each statement. If you come out with the wrong combination, you'll take damage to your influence gauge. Okay. That was... Hey, this kind. Oh, come on! So badly. Wait, what?
Fighting broke out. The culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was...
Wait, was that the right one? Yeah, that's about right.
A sword-based sneak attack!
Wait. No, it's wrong! Why about the sword sneak on the sword? It was covered with gold.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
There's no way it could start with just a sword.
Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down and explain it.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath.
So the sheath was used first, not a sword.
If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from...
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it! So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere.
It's only part of it, so...
Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening.
No, that's
So she grabbed the sword to defend herself.
But then the culprit took that from her too! Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Certain part of her body. Oh, you can probably block your hand with your hands?
I got it! Yeah. You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands.
Everybody show your hands.
There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
That's it, it is. That's plausible.
But I don't think so.
Why do you say that?
No, that's not it at all.
Ugly. It actually was slightly alright in average. Explain one way the water was off.
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m.
Therefore, all the
in
water
other words,
is nighttime.
at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
So therefore there is no water.
I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't
taken a shower. You should know it. You say loud and clear.
My.
You're no different. You smell like a big, fat, ugly donkey.
Hey, don't insult your peers.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword.
They didn't really show us her hands.
But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
The one who damaged the sheath with is the one who grabbed the sword.
I got it!
The killer had the sword.
Sayaka?
So Sayaka had the kitchen knife the whole time.
She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
So Sayaka was the one that made the
killer. The one who attacked first was...
Sayaka.
Sayaka?
The murderer.
Now do you understand?
It was the actual
She
murderer,
wasn't
though.
a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
It's a flawed murder. What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct?
Me?
Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Actually, yeah, there is a possibility.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
She wanted to frame me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room, where she was staying.
I think it's all
and by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky?
Risky, but worked
for one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
That's close.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation.
No one resisted
a totally
smile.
forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
National superstar.
Wait, then
you're saying
she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
We're so
But in the end, her plan backfired.
Bamboozled.
She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn.
karma.
That must be when her wrist got broken.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true!
It might be true.
Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Wait, is it time limit?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Especially me, and the killer. No, except the killer. Is it really over? Obviously, I haven't committed to find out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing... Oh, there is something left. No, that's wrong! Make your argument! Dying message. Wait, if I had to be more.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
That's wrong! No, it's wrong! Wrong again, Leon. Yeah, how can be wrong again?
There still might be one clue left.
Well, what's another
Sayaka's
message?
dying message.
Looks like a number, but however, I flipped it around from my head turning upside down. It was actually a name.
Wait, what did you say?
Unfortunately, it sounded like Leo.
The dying
or
message.
Leal.
She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember?
Leon.
11037. Written in her own blood.
Upside down.
There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask.
What?
Can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
Actually, I saw something with a finger. There's no question. What about her finger?
I got it!
I looked at the wire mentioned
Her left index finger had blood on it.
Plus, I was there too at the crime
That
scene.
could only be
There's some
because she
pink
used
blood on
that
her.
finger to write the message.
Would have been on normal, but
I
it's
see.
obviously there.
She broke her right
Plus,
wrist
there's some
during the
red
fight,
blood on it.
so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
Hey, Chihiro, you're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
Oh yeah, forgot to ask her.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Leon.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
What?
A flipped message.
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers.
Leo.
Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Actually,
you're
I see
right.
a faint stain
The
of
connecting line is
right there.
barely there.
I mean,
So
is
I
that red or
assumed it
purple?
was 1-1, but looking at
Looks
it
like
now, you could also read it as an N.
Leon!
Whoa!
Oh,
you
now
might
I
have finally just said something worth a shit.
And you spell that with something in my hair.
Little gray cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N, N037,
No,
doesn't make
37.
any more sense than before.
Actually, the curve at 7 uprights, then you get an L. Actually, yeah, I do
Rotate
know.
the image 180 degrees.
Or just flip it upside down. Huh? Rotate it. I think maybe I see something.
Oh my god.
Now I see it.
Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Indirectly.
You just shot past the clue part and right on to who did it.
Yep, I figured out this immediately.
Whose name did she write?
Only one person who rhymes with Leon. In fact, I'm looking right at him. Or me's right next to me. Split someone! Found you.
Here's my answer.
It definitely has to be him.
The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees.
You turn
If
roll
you
upside
turn
down,
the message
you know.
around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
Leon Kennedy.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence.
Are you sure about that?
It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
Your pose tells me different.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it.
That makes sense.
In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
Oh yeah, it actually would. It would be flipped. That too.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me.
I'm
the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Actually, that's a good question. Why did you destroy evidence?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
Yes, hairstyle. The evidence I tried to get rid of. Thinking I'm on the ground in front of the incinerator, right? Oh, missing evidence. Almost got burned.
I got it!
These are some part of your shirts, Leon.
The burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator.
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them.
Yes. That's not the blood.
And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
Actually, it was most correctly. The door was still shut.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
No, it's more the evidence where I came from.
Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right! There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
Was there something else?
You're right. That alone isn't enough.
Are you finally starting to understand?
Yeah, I think so.
How did you get rid of it exactly? The incinerator was closed off the whole time.
I got it!
No way where I got
how the shirt was disposed of.
Exactly.
We should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say.
What? What am I?
You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right?
Bingo. Which made it more easy to figure out.
And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either.
Unless you threw it.
You need the key to get in.
Some tiny
and
gaps
the
in
one with the
door.
key was the person on cleaning duty.
You even got me.
So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash.
Interesting.
It was you. Well, that's one. There's another way to actually use this system without it being on cleaning duty. And it's also gaps on your door, so it's gonna improve my point even further. Dang, a glass ball can destroy. Yeah, crystal actually. That's supposed to actually be destroyed too, you know. Other than
the key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator.
Actually, there's a glass ball next to it. Isn't that right, really, on Kennedy? I mean, Kuwata.
Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it? Some kind of glass ball?
Glass ball.
It's busted to hell.
Actually, it's crystal, not glass.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but,
But how would you use it?
What? You have to use the glass ball in a certain way, which was... controlling it with a gap.
I got it!
How else would you get inside
there? The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
I'm turning the incinerator on. Seriously, they put sirens off last time I was down here. Perhaps it was off. It was the work of a fairy. But there was no fairy.
So the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge
here, exactly.
Was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they got the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
I am holding on.
The distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right?
30 feet.
The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass bulb that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
Well, do you know like ultimate talent?
That's right! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Actually, nearly
difficult.
Impossible.
Absolutely.
Impossible is still
I don't
possible.
think so.
The only impossible
because
that can be
killer
possible
is
impossible. However, I know somebody that actually can make the impossible possible.
I got it!
And we get right at you, Leon.
Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that
right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
Stupid?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
Actually, yeah, you just threw it.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer! These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You can't lie to me forever, Leon.
You still won't admit it? Okay then. Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear.
Copy.
And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered. And the truth has been revealed.
Alright, time to start.
Now here's what happened.
Here's what happened. Here's the plan. Okay, exactly. Explain this one more time to me. Okay. A comic book. I think give me a manga. Well, I'll find out soon enough when we get to a comic. Holy cow, you get hit on my late suit breakthrough.